Hello once again, one more time, this is Stefan, and I'm going to continue where we left off last time with installing some mods with the new Witch3 mod manager. And now I'm going to show you how to actually translate the mod manager into your language and how to use that translation. The first thing you want to do, you want to actually go to the Nexus page and download the translation strings file. And when you download it, this is what you get. When you extract it, obviously you need to extract it. So when you extract it, this is what you get. You get this folder, and inside that folder you get these 4 files. Now this file is the most important one. This is the file that actually contains all the translation strings. And the TS stands for translation strings. And the way to translate it, you can actually do it in 2 ways. The first way is you just go right click and edit with any of the text editor, and you're gonna get the XML file which contains all the strings. And what you need to do is you need to delete this unfinished tag, and inside the translation tag you want to write your translation, like something, whatever, really. So that's one way, and it's not a preferred way because you do not have as big of a control as you want. However, you can do it like this, but I'm just gonna close this because I don't want it to save. The way you want to do it is you want to use this included program called linguist, and this is its data, so it's basically being called from this folder. This is all of its dependencies. So, and this file it just explains everything I'm going to do now. So you want to start the linguist. When you start the linguist, you want to go to File and Open. You want to select your en.ts file, the translation file. You say Open, and this important step is going to ask you what language is the source language and what is the target language, which is in which you want to translate. And since I'm a Serbian and I know Serbian, so I'm basically going to English, and we're going to select United States English to Serbian, and there it is, to Serbian. Of course the country is Serbia. Saying okay. Now here are all the strings listed. Much more easier to see. Now the way you want to do it, you see those question marks on the left side. The question marks basically mean whether or not you have finished translating it. So the way to do it is simply whatever string. You need to go through all the strings. I'm going to select only a few. I'm going to select, for example, the data. And I'm going to translate this into the Serbian. I translate it into the Serbian. I'm going to press Ctrl and Enter. So that's a Ctrl and Enter, and it's gonna display this green question mark, which basically means that it has been translated and it's been finished. Now, why is it green? Because you see that there are only letters here. If I translate into something, for example, that has some lines that shouldn't be there, some characters, like I just inserted a dot here. You see here the dot should not be here. It gives you a warning, and if you say you're done, it also gives a red question exclamation mark. If you press Ctrl and Enter, it's going to give you yellow check mark, which basically means it has been translated, but there are some errors in it. So what the error is, basically I added this dot here, and now it's done. And that is the process that you want to do. You can insert comments if you like, but there's no really need for that. You have to actually go through all of these files, all of these strings. I'm going to translate a few more. I'm going to translate this, just some easy ones. Alright, so we can see that it's been displayed correctly. I'm going to translate the mod name. It's going to be email. All right, and you need to go through all of them. You need to have all of these as green question marks. And when you're done, you're going to go File and Release As, and it's going to create the QM file. This is the file that you actually need. The QM file is the translation. So you want to name it however you want. I'm going to rename it Serbsky 1 because I already have Serbsky in my mod manager. It comes defaultly with the mod manager. So I'm going to save it. And I'm not going to save this. And here it is. I'm going to copy it. Actually, I'm going to cut it to the my installation directory. And if you remember, I chose W3MM. And when you go into W3MM, there's whole things here. You need to find this translation folder. This translations folder is the folder that contains all the translations which are going to be loaded in the manager. So as you can see, I'll have English and Serbsky. I'm gonna paste it here, and now I have Serbsky and Serbsky 1. Alright, now when I run the mod manager, it's still gonna load the one that is in preset, but now if I go select language, you see that I have now Serbsky and Serbsky 1. If I select our Serbsky 1, only the things I have translated have been changed, like this ime, as it was mod named, what was else, podaci, as it was data here before, DLC has been changed, yes and no is now no and da, and so on. So basically, you translate every string, everything that you don't translate is going to be left in the English language, and when you're done, it's going to look something like this. Everything is translated. How you do it, you just simply use the linguist. Just to recap, use the linguist, you load n.ts string, you select your language, you translate everything, you generate, I didn't show that, sorry. Alright, you go to File, Release As, you generate QM file, you name it however you want, and then you go to the eGames. Well, that's for me, whatever you have installed it. W3MM, you find the translations folder and you paste it there. I can now delete this because I don't need it. And when you run the mod manager, you will be able to actually change the language. So that's about it. That's how you translate. And if you want to share your translations, if you want to just use it, that's fine. But if you want to share your translations, you can send me that QM file that you have generated, and I will upload that QM file on the Nexus so the other people can use it as well. So that's about it. Thank you again. Thank you for translating, and see you most likely in the next version. Bye.